Hello class, happy week 10. This is like the 27th take of this video today. I don't know what it is, but I have a black cloud over me. I hope I get it right this time. Listen, week 10, I have a ton of grading to do for you guys, and I will get to it slowly but surely, so don't worry, I will get to it, and I will not be harsh, trust me, unless you did submit or you did basically just wrote a sentence. Other than that, you should be fine. This week I already sent you a homework helpful file. I would focus on that quiz in that file. It should be pretty easy. It covers the 3 topics that are mentioned in the notes and lecture and overview for this week, that being the chi-square analysis, t-test, and ANOVA. A couple things about each of those. Chi-square analysis, we don't see that too often in the research world, but it's when your data is, it's what's called a non-parametric test. So when your data is not normal, okay, follows a curve, and usually data that doesn't follow a nice normal curve is typically categorical or ordinal, like ranked. That's when the chi-square analysis comes into play. Again, the template you have for the assignment will get you through that pretty easily. T-test. It's a pretty easy, straightforward statistic. It falls in the hypothesis testing model, where you're basically interested in testing against a prior value, whether it's a mean or some other formal value, a benchmark that you're looking to see if the data that you're collected is less than, greater than, or equal to whatever that value is. And that's probably the only time you would actually, and usually they're always a one-tailed test, so you're thinking something is above or below. Now the ANOVA, which falls into a more general class of statistics called the GLM, the general linear model, that's the appropriate terminology. I don't know why it's not used in our notes or lectures, but the GLM, or analysis of variance, covers pretty much everything in terms of hypothesis testing, especially with the two-tailed tests, which most often researchers will always consider, because you never know what you're going to find in your data collections or research studies. And the tricky thing with Excel, the data needs to be set up as columns. Most other statistical software applications, you could have your categorical independent variable in one column and all your continuous dependent variable data in another column, and you just specify what the levels are, and it's pretty straightforward. But so you'll see in the assignment, each of that little tiny data set for questions 8 through 11 are already set up for you. So it should be an easy week in terms of what you need to do. If you have any questions about any of the analyses, how to interpret them, again, if I mentioned this last week, anytime we're doing hypothesis testing, particularly the t-test and ANOVA, we look at the p-value and whether or not the calculated value, critical value, is greater than or less than the table value, and you can make your determinations from there. Okay, so that's it. Let's have a great week. Any questions, just ask.